Good morning, Ma. We're back with the Sunday Collective after so many weekends that we've been away at the healing retreat. So what is that one message you have for everyone joining in?
That we sent you lots and lots of healing energies from the retreat. And the interesting part was it was all about simplicity. And the simplicity is the simple city of the heart. And that's where you have to stay, and that's where you have to live, and that's where you have to think and act and do everything. And the sub-product of your heart is to have lots of satisfaction and gratitude. So that's the capsule,
Essence.
the seed of that retreat was to explore that about yourself and to love yourself and to nurture yourself and grow as a human being. So I think we were sending out lots and lots of healing energies and gifting them to the whole world, and we are back to answer your questions.
Lovely to be back. And so, of course, yes, I think we'll change the format because it's been so many weekends away. That if any of you have any questions or healing requests that you're coming into the Sunday Collective with, please go ahead and message them in the comment section as we are live, and I'll be happy to communicate that with Ma. And till you guys get your thoughts together, I would like to ask you, Ma, that of course, today is the first day of the Navratri as we head into the Dussehra and Diwali season. And so, of course, Jai Mata Di.
Jai Mata Di.
But beyond this exclamation of Jai Mata Di, what is the consciousness that we should have regarding this energy of the feminine divine and the mother divine and the sacred womb that is expanding and blessing us during these 9 nights?
We are all small beings who have the creative impulse coming directly from her. And we can also create, we give birth to children as women. And of course the seed is co-joined with the male energy. And this birthing process of the cosmic womb is very important, because she is the harbinger of all that opulence, all that strength, all that wealth, all that knowledge. And we are moving from, the tamagun to satagun and rajagun, So basically, finally, the adventure is to get to the truthfulness. And, the 9 days, the first 3 days are for tamagun to abolish all the negative, and then to come to rajagun and to understand that even material desires and material nature is not sufficient. And the satagun, the next 3 days, is about reliving your truthfulness at the heart and sharing that unconditional love with the world and receiving in plentifulness. And of course, empowering your own creative impulse, whether it is to live in accordance with the truthfulness in your life, whether it's to have genuine truthfulness in your relationships with others, and then of course truthfulness in your spiritual adventures. And instead of shopping around, I find a lot of people are shopping around to find new tastes, new flavors of spiritual knowledge, and they go and they delve into different things. But if you just stick to one aspect of your spiritual connect and then stay there, then your roots are going to become very strong. Your tree of spiritual empowerment will become strong, and it will have the leaves, the flowers, the fruits, and the nectar that you are born to receive from the divine intervention, and take that forward in your life so that you're flowering and fruiting and enlightening yourselves and the world around you, and sharing and giving and caring, and then being grateful for that lovely adventure called life, which is just very short for most of us, right? We are not living here forever. Some of us, of course, write and we leave our knowledge behind for others to get inspired and get, a higher level of consciousness. But finally, it is about what we are doing in the now that is inspiring us to be grateful and truthful. And truthfulness is a very important aspect of the goddess, of learning, of strength, of wealth, because they come in triplication, and they are always blessing us to live our life in the most opulent ways and spiritually be empowered.
And so, Ma, we have Ash who joins in this morning and asks that is the creative impulse master always seated in the Kundalini root and hara?
It is seated in the Kundalini and root and hara for the creative aspect, but for it to be active, it has to be at the third eye, to have the knowledge, the illumination and the enlightenment. And I'm reminded of a short story to explain this, that Mahatma Gandhi was, getting onto a train, and just as the train started moving, one of his slippers got left behind on the platform, and he bent down and he threw the other slipper down as well. And so there were people on the train, and they were asking him that, why did you do that? He said, whoever finds that one slipper should find the other one and use it. So that intelligence, that consciousness, that illumination comes from that dipping into your third eye chakra and having the intelligence and the wisdom to hear, to listen, to smell, to taste and to see. And according to our karmic resonance that is seated in our Kundalini chakra, we can say that we have a creative impulse, but if we don't act upon it in time, it's not changing our destiny, it's not changing our karma. That's why healing is so important, to get connected to a healing modality and to heal, because in that format of healing, you are using your intelligence and your abilities to place your hands on different parts of your bodies and channel the light. In that process, you're changing your destiny, you're sharing that light with others. So that activation or that thrust of consciousness to activate the root, the Kundalini and the hara is connected to the throat chakra, and to acknowledge it at the throat, and then of course use the intelligence which is seated in the third eye, the Gyan chakra, and to be Shuddh, the Shuddh Sattva, to be in that pure truthfulness that I'm going to act in the now because my heart inspires me to act, and then everything is perfectly right.
So in that inspiration of the heart, to bring it back to the topic for today, that how is the inspiration of the heart linked to our journey through the oceans of creation, from the cosmic ocean, the Kshirodakshay ocean, to material nature, to the waters of the sacred womb of our mothers, where our flesh, our bones, our nerves are all coming together in collaboration with the divine and the network. So what is that creative impulse, the inspiration and the ocean? How are they all connected?
The ocean, when Mother Ganga comes out of Gomukh and she goes to Gangotri, and then she flows and she flows and she flows, and then she moves to West Bengal, and then she flows into the ocean, right? So every entity, every spiritual particle of our consciousness is also flowing to search for that ocean. So, when we are separated from the causal oceans and we are coming down, we are not limited, but in a sense we are limited, that we take birth in our mother's womb and the amniotic sac. That amniotic sac is a very nurturing and very sort of gentle appearance, and in that from that sac we get through the placenta and the mother and the arrangement of all the cosmic energies and our own high intelligence, we have in that dark place the ability to make our body, to recreate our our essential self that is going to be birthed by the mother in collaboration. And we come into the material universe to fulfill our destiny and to activate the Kundalini and the root and the hara, and go through the process of giving birth and it's not only about giving birth to a
Children.
physical body. It can be giving birth to a thought. It can be giving birth to a business. It can be giving birth to nature by planting some trees. And of course, we can't, help the seed. Mother Nature is helping, but we are acting and planting that seed in a fertile soil, giving it enough sun and light and air and, maybe some nutrition, which is coming from another source, and helping that seed to grow with the water and the sea energies of the water cycle, because all the oceans on planet Earth are also part of that water cycle, which is evaporating, becoming clouds and falling down. And we are constantly being nurtured by that ability of our safe self. And so the ocean and the waves are very, very, very important. Because, how can I explain this? That there was once a wave in the ocean and it was going, and then it saw that all the waves ahead of it were crashing on the shore. There were some rocks and then they were disappearing. And she was very, very, very fearful. So there was another big wave coming behind her and saw that she was very fearful and said that, "What's happened, honey? Why are you so fearful?" So she said, "All the waves ahead of me are just crashing and disappearing." So the big wave said that, "Don't worry, we are not the waves, we are the ocean."
I love that. That's one of my
So the same
favorite
thing is
realizations.
yes, so the
ma'am.
same is with us, that we are also not just the waves. We are part of that ocean and all the oceans in the spiritual realms. And we just went into the Vaitarani river, and through the supramental descent, we came into the material universe to either finish off our karmic cycles or to do the work of the divine. And at the end of it, we are again going to go to the Vairaj river, and that Vairaj river is going to flow back into the same cosmic oceans and take us back to the frontiers of Vaikuntha, where there is no complaint, and we are blissfully, sublimely centered in those emerald palaces of gold, where we are going to nest and evolve and increase our intelligence and take charge of creating something more beautiful.
So when we come into this consciousness that we are not the wave and we are the ocean, and that glorious understanding that we are part of a magnificent large network, how do we channel the healing light into our life at a micro level and into the world and the cosmos at a macro level that assists in converting the toxic or the darkness into the light? Because each wave is, I guess,
Symbolic.
important and symbolic.
Yeah, each wave is symbolic. Each drop of water is very auspicious, and it's nurturing. And our body is also more than 70% made of water. So the point I keep bringing up in a lot of Sunday collectives, and I'm going to say it again, is to honor the water element, to keep some out for the birds to drink, and maybe water some plants, because that's about sharing that nectarian quality and inspiring your positive aspects of your precious earth discipline, that we are generating this consciousness of love and happiness, but we are also sharing it forward in that, remember that the human body is also designed, when we are laughing a lot, sometimes there are tears of happiness that are coming, or we get very good news, which was most hugely unexpected, and we have tears of happiness coming out of our eyes. And at the same time, sometimes when we are very, very, very sad, those same tears are flowing. And if you taste your tears, they are also very salty, just like the oceans and the seas. And so all those oceans and all those seas are flowing in our internal body. It's not anything external, but of course we have to share what we are projecting in our immediate life, what we are creating, how we have a home, how we have the sublime abilities to educate ourselves, to have the knowledge, to have the wealth and the strength. And it's coming all from the goddesses, and they're giving it to us as gifts of tiny seeds of consciousness and light that is invigorating all our chakras. So, coming back to the anatomy of the body that we created in our mother's womb, when we take our first breath, we also have the anatomy of the aura that then starts to support our life form, gives us the strength, gives us the power in our spinal column. And we begin to learn how to walk and then talk and then, feed ourselves and know what we like, what we don't like. And then the rest of our life, we are educating ourselves, inspiring ourselves to work, to walk on planet Earth, to make a difference in other people's lives. And that is of paramount importance, is to also look after yourself and to see whether you're really nurturing yourself. Are you happy? Are you comforted by that beautiful imagery of, do you become your best friend or you don't? So that is very important to see, that what are you creating in this life, in the symphony of the words that you speak, the energies that you think and you create, because all of them are touched by the 5 elements. Our body is made of the 5 elements: air, water, fire, earth and space. We are touched by the healing light of the 9 planets, which are magnificent, and we are always blessed by the presence of divinity, whether we believe in it or we don't believe in it. The reality is that we have to nurture ourselves very, very, very simply. And I do have many people coming to see me, and they often say that we don't believe in God, and how could there be so much war, how could there be so much death of children and cruelty, and so I remember once I was was getting my hair trimmed, and I was at a barber shop, and what would you call it, like a salon?
Yes.
And then the person was just having this tirade of, how they don't believe in God and how they don't do that. And they were getting their beard trimmed and they were getting their hair cut and they were just going on and on. So then I was just thinking that I shouldn't get into an argument with them, and then I just stepped out and I saw this very poor man who had matted hair and long unkempt beard, and so I called the person who was cutting the hair and this gentleman, and I said that barbers don't exist in this world. So he said, why? I'm a barber. And of course, so then I said that look at this gentleman, he's on the road. And so he said, oh, but he has to come in and he has to seek my assistance, and then I will wash his hair and give him a cut and cut his beard and trim his beard. So then I said that it's the same with God. You have to seek in order for God to really be taking an interest and doing things for you, because unless you don't seek, you don't recognize the hand of the divine in all the things that the divine is gifting us unconditionally, and we become very ungrateful because we are not focusing on what we have, we are focusing very much on what we don't have. So I remember that was an interaction which was very sweet. And so we have to seek, and when we seek, the oceans have plenty to give us. And the oceans, even our blood has salt in it, and our tears have salt, and all our body fluids are very salty. And the oceans are also very salty, because that is the power of the creative impulse.
Soma, as you're speaking, what I'm thinking is that the waves of the ocean, if each wave is actually the ocean, but yet each wave has its own, let's say, personality, does each wave bring a different flavor into our life?
Yes.
So we may
all
think that the wave is coming as a tsunami, but it actually could be a blessing.
gentle wave, and the one that anoints our crown chakra is all beauty.
Okay.
And when it comes to our third eye chakra, the wave is all knowledge. And when it touches our throat chakra, it's all purpose. What are we going to do with this intelligence and this beauty? What is the purpose of our life? And at the heart, it is all harmony. Are we going to harmonize all the generosity, all the kindness, all the care, all the sharing, all the creative impulses? And our hands are touched by our heart's energies, because through our shoulders and our arms, the hands are very, very connected to the heart, the harmony of receiving and giving. So we receive in our left hand and we give from our right hand. And so the heart chakra has to be very, very, very open and welcoming. And what is the solar plexus, the wave in the solar plexus? It's very ruthless, because it wants to excavate. It's very sharp and very ruthless. It wants to excavate the fear, the anger, the helplessness, because the solar plexus is the garbage bin of the human body, where we store all our low emotions of revolt and anger and fear and not having enough. And then comes that beautiful, sublime sacral plexus of the hara, where the kundalini and the hara are the karmic kumbh of our destiny, which are telling the story. And the wave of that is the creative wave that comes and gently fills that karmic kumbh and gives us the impetus to want to do something. And the root chakra is the dark depths, the same that I explained that you have in the womb when you are taking birth. Is the darkest depths in that light. The twinkling light in the night is like the night sky, and there are so many beautiful stars shining, and they are illuminating your consciousness and telling you what to do, which destination to follow. And why do I say that it's the dark depth? And there are, because we have 72,000 corridors of light that are illuminating our body, 36,000 on our right side and 36,000 on our left side. And they're like like hair on our body, on our head, and they are full of the golden light, and they're seeking and they're giving and they're searching and they're bringing and they're taking to new frontiers of acquiring knowledge, acquiring wealth, acquiring strength, intelligence, wisdom, information, and even our spiritual, quotient of life is awakened. And where is the confluence of all these energies? It's in our navel center. So the most important is the navel center, which is the portal of us having being connected to our mother and making this body and nurturing ourselves with the 5 elements and whatever else we needed. And the genius, the scientific frontiers of how to construct an eye and how to construct the nose and how to make ourselves look more pretty and have better skin, and all those things we're doing in the womb, right?
Okay.
And then that portal is what connects us to those cosmic oceans, is our navel center. So coming back to Ash's question that, is our karmic home and our hara and our root
and our kundalini and our creativity, but it's ultimately the navel.
The navel that is the most sublime and which is the most neglected chakra of the human body, because we don't pay much attention to it. But it is what gives us the material 5 elements energies going through the navel and activating us. And it's also giving us that ascension of connecting to what we want and what we can harness for our future destiny to change. So we have to be ruthless, and we have to go into the darkest of the depths and to see the beauty of our world, what we've created, what we've brought back, what are our gold mines, where are our gems, and where do we have to excavate and bring up those. Remember, even mining for diamonds is, you have to go deep into the crust of Mother Earth to look for those gems and jewels. So we have to flow with that light, and we have to be very, very connected. Remember that even the waves of the ocean is always very calm. What agitates and creates, tsunami, like you said, or tornadoes? It's the air prana.
Element. So our thoughts.
Our
breath and our speech. So everything from the third eye to the throat.
Throat is very, very, very important. And I was looking at it a little bit this morning, that what is it? That why do we have so little respect for our planet and for the oceans? There's so much of pollution, plastic waste, and so much of, we just think that we can throw it in the river, and the river of life is just going to be very, very, nature will take care of it. But the reality is that who's taking care of our nature? If we can be aligned with our chakras, then we can be balanced, then everything in our niche, in our oceans, in our seas, our lakes, our ponds, our rivers, they're all going to be very healthy. And we will leave, the pollutants, the plastic, and all the rubbish that we throw into the ocean. We'll be very, and sometimes we go drilling in the ocean floor for oil and gas, and we want to use that. But what do we give to the oceans? The oceans give us so many fish and coral reefs, and there's so much beauty if you go down. I've been down in a submarine once to see the bottom of the ocean is so beautiful.
Yes.
And there's a whole world living there.
Absolutely.
Which we are not even aware of. We can see in cinematography, and but the ecosystem of the whole universe is working on different aspects. And it's lovely to see that.
Yes, Ma. So in that beauty of the worlds yet discovered or undiscovered or to be discovered, there are many here who are discovering their own waves and oceans as
all
you
the gems and jewels are in our body to mine.
To mine into to go deep into the darkness and be unafraid. That's where we are going to find the brightest of treasures. And we have a follow-up question from Ash, who asks that, so from the center of the light force down to the root, where is the most resistance?
In the garbage bin of the solar
plexus. Where
there's fear, there's anguish, there's pain, there is desire, there is wanting something that somebody else have. Yesterday I was talking to somebody who just lost a loved one, and she was saying that she didn't know that the most difficult aspect of her life is going to confront her, and it was not so much about the grief of having lost, it was jealousy. And I said, so are you jealous? So she said, yeah, when I look at all my friends and I look at their lives, and they have so much going on, and I'm really, really jealous. So I was a little bit taken aback that, she was sending all this envy and jealousy to people that she really loved, and she was not able to heal her own pain and her separation. So I sent so much healing to all the people in the war-torn states and, to the Middle East, and that everybody should have the strength to restrain their ability to attack and kill and maim and disfigure, because that is also a human generated response, that there is so much of hate in the world. So that has to be doused, and it's all coming from the solar plexus. There's no other place. And of course we can say that we have our eyes and nose and mouth and ears all in sync
with our solar
plexus, but we need to sync it with the crown where there's all beauty, and we should be looking at everything positive. We should speak everything positive, smell everything positive. Let's bring the flame and share it with them in this moment of effulgence and light of the morning puja. So here comes little Divya with her.
Here we go, Ma. Jai Mata Di.
Sarvamangal Mangale Shive Sarvarat Sadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Very sweet. Thank you so much. That was very sweet. So we have to accept this light in our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouth, so that we can speak with the light present in every aspect of our divine self and the divine world around us, and see the divine in everything that we touch, whether it's living or inanimate, doesn't matter. It still has the consciousness of wanting to please the divine.
I love that, Ma, and we have so much love and so much celebration coming in for the Navratris, be it Divya Seth Shah, Kashyap, and Shomamita, and
love you all.
Many more.
All
I
of
can't
them.
even get to everyone's
I'm
names.
sending them big hugs.
Yes, the grateful, Ma. And we have Sakshi and Arpita, who resonate with the same question. And Arpita has a very sweet message. She says, it is so empowering to know that we are the ocean and not just a drop in the ocean or simply the waves. So grateful, Guruma and Divya. Any particular practices during the Navratras for us spiritual well-being is the common question that both Arpita and Sakshi have.
Drink lots of water and know that it's nectar of the gods that's coming to you, and water the plants. Maybe share some water with people who don't have.
So the water element is really important in these 9 days.
Yes.
Okay.
Because of the cosmic rivers, the confluence. Remember, we put the kalash. The kalash is the womb of auspiciousness, her presence, and we are nurturing our, abilities to accept. Even if we place the coconut, the womb of the coconut is also the nectar in water, and the moon's light, and the flavor of the sun, and the oil of the coconut. Everything is linked to the earth element and the ocean. So Mother Earth's body is also made up of so many oceans.
That's a beautiful visual, that Mata Rani's bodies are made out of multiple oceans. And so I think that's really simple. As you said in the beginning, that we're carrying the retreat, the simplicity of the heart. And so even in this practice of observing the Navratris, the simple sharing and partaking of the holy waters, for all waters are holy.
Waters are holy.
And so that is a very new understanding even for me. And then of course we have Neha joining in, who says that, Ma, I touch your holy lotus feet.
Lovely,
and she says, hello Divya, we love you, Neha. Lots
She's
of
near the
love.
ocean.
She's near the ocean.
She's
Wonderful.
in Goa,
Wonderful.
I think.
The sea.
The sea.
The sea, the waters.
The Arabian Sea.
Yeah.
No?
And we have
Indian Ocean.
Indian Ocean, yes, Ma.
Hmm.
So there is a lot to dive deep in our own consciousness and to see the worlds that exist there. How do we safely ride the waves of our life is what I was thinking. I don't know if it's really connected to the teachings of today or we're going somewhere else. But this is a question that happened.
Nervous system, each vibration of that is connecting to those oceans of light, those rivers, those lakes, and they're all pouring down into the 1,000 petals of our crown chakra, where there is immense beauty, and that beauty is coming down to create like a waterfall, And I don't know how many of you have stood near a waterfall. If you stand near a waterfall, there's this very fine wisps of moisture that the breeze is carrying to you, and then you feel this softness, like it's almost like the waterfall is embracing you. If you go into the waterfall and you stand under it, it's like a thrust of huge energy that's coming down, And sometimes you get destabilized and you want to either sit on a rock or, hold on to somebody's hand, because the force of that water is so powerful. So whatever it is, whether you're standing on the edge or you're standing under the waterfall or you're sitting in that river, that lake, that pond where this waterfall is coming down, remember that the spiritual waterfall is constantly flowing. It's constantly touching every pore and cell of your body, and you're hardwired to those energies, and you can't say that I disconnect or I don't get or I have insufficient. All you have to say is that I accept willingly and in gratefulness, and you'll be flooded with the nurturing energies of the cosmic universes and the material universes. And remember that water is in the spiritual and material realms connected as wealth.
Okay.
So when people dream of water and they sometimes tell me we are drowning, so I always tell them that's good news. That means you're going to become very wealthy. You're going to drown in all the wealth that you're going to create for yourself. So again, water is the element of great wealth and great happiness. And remember that Saraswati ji is also gliding on a swan on the lakes of your mind, and she is nurturing you with the strings of the veena. She is enticing you to listen to the truth of, the truth is that you're a very intelligent and harmonized being, and from the heart the harmony is going into your creative impulses, and you are delving into those nectarian waters of good fortune and touching everything that you seek with that nectar, with that association. When you were talking about Sakshi asking that what can she do in the 9 days, just stop complaining.
And
because remember
criticizing.
that even your tongue, you speak because there is moisture, there's a river flowing that's moistening your tongue. If your mouth becomes very dry, you can't speak.
Yes, ma'am.
So your saliva is very important. So when you speak the truth, there is like that sweet saliva. And when you're really toxic, when, sometimes people say, oh, I have a bitter taste in my mouth, that even the saliva, the rivers that are flowing through your mouth are also toxic. So that's a very good time. People say, oh, I'm feeling very liverish. Liver is the place where you experience divine love. So if you have a liverish state and you're feeling bitterness in your mouth, that means that you're not touching the truth of the fact that the divine loves you. And all you have to do is, like in a moment, say, I accept all divine intervention. And then you'll see that bitter taste will suddenly turn to sweetness.
I love that. That's a beautiful affirmation, Ma, that I accept all divine intervention. I accept all divine intervention. I accept all divine intervention.
And you know what? The portal of your salivary gland is connected to your karmic kumbh.
Oh, wow.
So it all transforms to gold and it pours down through your spine into that karmic kumbh. And you know that the opening of the karmic kumbh is your navel chakra.
That's so beautiful. I'm just visualizing it as you're speaking.
So it flows in and overflows into your navel. So you can have the creative impulse, and from your navel you can create anything.
I love that. And then we have my healing request. So let's create a healing moment or expand this healing moment. We have Aisha Ganguly, who requests healing for Jayat, who has a final round of interviews tomorrow. But he has a lot of weakness and tiredness and maybe fever, I think she said today. So requesting lots of healing for him.
So he relaxes, he's inspired and not intimidated by his circumstances. Because all those three things live in the navel. We can get intimidated, we can be inspired, and we relax. So all meditation, you know, when Maharishi Mahesh Yogi attuned me to transcendental meditation, he was always talking about taking the sound frequency to the navel, taking your breath to the navel, and then bringing it up and letting it exit from your crown chakra. And in those days I wasn't clairvoyant, so I could never really tell what it was that was happening. but it just felt good to, to practice. And now I see that when your breath goes down to your navel, you're activating the portal of your creative energy. And when you send it up to your crown chakra, you're activating the beautiful intervention of divine inspiration. And nothing can intimidate you. The solar plexus is completely clear.
I love that. With the you give us the confidence, Ma,
Yes.
to never be intimidated.
Yes.
And then we have a beautiful healing request by Sanjeevani, who says, Pranam Ma, Dad will be undergoing surgery tomorrow. He's in a lot of discomfort. I know he's in your prayers. Yes, sending healing to all who are in ill health and hospitals and anguish. And
they have sufficient medicine and medical support, and they are not intimidated. They're inspired to heal with their own strength and the body. And not cry.
Yes.
Tears of misfortune.
Misfortune.
Because whatever it is, the divine will get us out of there.
I accept all divine intervention. And then we have Priyanka, who says, requesting healing for Narendra Baveja, who's in the ICU in Phoenix. His heart has stopped during surgery, and currently he is in observation.
Okay, we're going to send lots of healing for harmony to be re-established in the heart.
And then we have a lot of gratitude flowing in from all those joining in the collective. And then we have Puja Udit Pathak, who says, good morning, Ma.
Good morning.
She says, your darshan itself is such a start to the auspiciousness. We need your blessings as we do our new office puja. Hope it brings lots of happiness and abundance for us.
Lots and lots.
Yes. Then we have Jasleen, who says, Sat Shri Akal, Auntie Ji.
She reached back.
Yes, she said, I just had a dream which was like war-like, as if there was going to be a war somewhere and everyone was running around preparing to leave and save themselves. So she's requesting for her anxiety and, of course, for war situations.
Just send love, because there are lots and lots of people who are running for their life, and we need to support them, that they find safety. And all the cruel minds also get subverted and become calm, and they don't intimidate others. Sometimes we are intimidated, and sometimes we intimidate others with our toxic words and actions. So inspire all the people to be sane, to be relaxed, to be transmitting energy, and let the winds of change bring nectarian energies to the world over all the oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, so that we are all touched by that activation of the sea breeze, the ocean breeze, so that our negative thoughts are wiped out and cleansed. And if you stand and there's a nice breeze blowing, we all feel so good, because the breeze is taking away all the toxins from our aura body, and Mother Earth is absorbing them through a gravitational pull, and we feel very refreshed, very invigorated. Sometimes I see people, writing to me, sending me pictures of their ice baths.
Yes.
And their hot baths, and how they're running to get to one and the other and the one and the other. And I just think, I smile at all the effort they're making. And then I think if only they would take a little bit of sea salt and put it in the bath water, or just rub it in the hands and place that on their shoulders and have a bath, then all the toxins would very quickly be leaving the body, and they would be so much more rejuvenated and so much more creative in their impulse, and use that half an hour instead of sitting in the ice to feel young. They could just use it to do healing, and there could be so many more young souls that could be saved to fulfill their mission that they were born for.
Absolutely. So talking about the
ice and salt water
ice
bath.
and salt and the mission of light and love, the mission of light and love, what is that one aspect Simran asks? She says that, Ma, what should we be doing in these 9 days to get blessings for work and love?
Blessing from work is that you can definitely go to work first thing and stop procrastinating. Wake up in the morning early and use that sunrise and that dawn to inspire yourself with all the energies. Because remember that we are positively wired to all the blues and the sky and the ocean and the cosmic electric light that's coming into our third eye chakras, our throat. Remember, blue is here, here, and there. And we are very, the energy of blue is very stable. So yes, get up in the morning, drink some water, and maybe fast for a few hours. I don't know if you're fasting for Navratri, but whatever you're doing, just honor that water, sip it with great joy, and remember that we are hardwired positively to water. So maybe spend more time in the bath for a few extra minutes and be grateful for all that lovely water that's falling on you, and stimulate your senses by making a conscious effort to contemplate on how you're seeing things, how you're hearing things, how you're speaking things, what are you enjoying to eat, how are you planning your meals, what are the colors that you're choosing, and understanding that everything is nutritious. People say, I'm vegan, I'm on a keto diet, the reality is God's made everything equally important and equally nutritious for our body. So you will be guided by your own thoughts, not by what the media is throwing out at you or propagating. So listen to yourself, be intuitive, and definitely maybe chant some mantra. And Om Doom Durgai Nama is one of the shortest mantras that I can share on this platform. Om Doom Durgai Namaha. Om Doom Durgai Namaha. Om Doom Durgai chant it 108 times or as many times as you're inspired to.
I think that answers also Shilpi Khanna Diwan's question, where she says that does chanting the sound of Ah stimulate the navel or Manipura chakra?
No,
not
no,
at
no.
all. Yes.
Om
is the universal
is the
sound.
Cosmic creative sound. The whole universe was created through the Naad and the sound of Om.
And in Vedic literature, yes, sometimes people have translated the Manipura chakra to mean the solar plexus and the navel, but that is incorrect. The Manipura is the solar plexus chakra. And that's with your digestion and all that entire ability, the fire element. And the sound of the Manipura chakra is Ram. And that is connecting to the source of the masculine divine energy that is cleansing all the garbage and purifying, like Ma said, all our karmic anarthas, all the toxicities that we come into this life and this realm with.
And your navel chakra is always a white lotus and a white circle of light, and in the center is a blue dot. And we in meditation always inspire people to visualize a rotating blue pearl, which is always rising, and the more you meditate, it rises to enter your third eye and go through the psychic tube of energy through your spine and reappears at your navel, and then begins its journey to irrigate and cleanse your ability to think in purity and sattva, because the Chidakash, that sky of a mind, has to be touched by the blue nectarian energies of all the cosmic oceans, where all knowledge and all intelligence and all wisdom are living. It's like having the cosmic internet password to download that information into your crown chakra, and with that beauty come down to an awareness center where your memories and your temporal chakras and your third eye chakra are awakened, so that you can see correctly, smell correctly, taste and touch correctly, speak the truth correctly, and listen and hear, and be a great healer. Everybody is a great healer. And of course, people who are connected to the light become greater healers. So share with the world.
Share with the world.
Yeah.
And then we have a special request for a healing blessing and prayer by Naomi, who says, Dearest Renooji Ma and lovely Divya, can we please say a prayer for all innocent lives involved in the Israel-Hamas war? Absolutely, and for all wars that are taking place simultaneously in this realm and other realms. So, Ma, should we do the Raksha Stotram for Mam Kutum? Yeah, so those of you who know it can join us. The others can simply
just meditate on the sound that Divya and I are going to chant for you, to infiltrate into your homes, into your world, into your consciousness, and let's
for complete protection and victory.
Om Rong Jung Sa Mam Kutum Rakshaha Rakshaha Palaha Palaha Sajung Rong Om Om Rong Jung Sa Mam Kutum Rakshaha Rakshaha Palaha Palaha Sajung Rong Om Om Rong Jung Sa Mam Kutum Rakshaha Rakshaha Palaha Palaha Sajung Rong Om.
Grateful,
That's for all peace to descend in all zones of war and conflict, pain and anguish, and that there's sufficient food and medicine and sanity in our world.
To be restored with compassion,
with love, with generosity of spirit, and an effulgence of the light to illuminate all minds. Not to be intimidated, but to inspire and to relax. Remember that thousands of ships, people, and have been transported on the oceans, and ships have moved, and new lands, new destinations, and the vastness is both calming and intimidating. So what are the sounds, the vibrations, the ships that you're setting sail? Be very careful of what you're sending to those destinations.
because the waves will carry them.
Yeah. So don't blame anyone. Everybody's part of that divine plan to inspire the people on planet Earth to love, to forgive, to nurture, and be generous in your thoughts.
Yes, Ma. And as we have this generosity of thought that we are affirming and channeling out into the world, into our life, there are many on the grid today, including Shwetashi, Shweta Oberoi, who request healing for their blood pictures and the oceans of their bodies is what I am resonating with. Because you talked about the salt, you talked about the water element, and the blood
pressures, and the oceans are very precious part of our Earth's body and our ecosystem, and so we have to respect that ecosystem in our body, and we have to give our body that nurturing food that is very, very precious and very strengthening and very inspiring and very illuminating, and that is water. Drink more water.
And again, so simple, yet
So profound.
profound.
Nurture yourselves. Love you all. Stay well. Stay healing. Stay happy. Love you. God bless.